Welcome to the show. Today I'll be talking about shopping, farming, and the Green Party. Shall I link that all in? Pretty clever, eh? Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Dr. No Show. Yes, I've renamed it the Dr. No Show because you cannot find it. People will be saying I cannot find the Dr. No Show. No, because James Bond film was pretty iconic and there's a lot of Dr. No's. I did notice on YouTube there's a lot of Dr. No's. So my little picture with me stroking the little pussy does not come up. All right? Well, you can find it, but you got to search really hard for. You'll see a picture of me, AI me, stroking a pussy, right? Probably the only fucking pussy I'm likely to stroke at my age, to be fair. Before you say it, thought you said before you say it. So yeah, there's me, Dr. No, with my face with the white collar thing on, and I'm stroking a pussy. So now it's called the Dr. No Show. Thank you again, Nikki, for pointing out that. She wanted me to call it the Dr. No, K-N-O-W. But it's too late for that because I've had a sign done with the Dr. No. The one I showed you yesterday, it broke, but they're going to send me a new one. Thank you for the sign people for sending me a new one. And plus, the Dr. No, right? The idea actually come from saying no to people. Enough of us don't say no. No for this, no for that. No, I'm not going to pay that tax. No, I'm not going to pay community charge. No, I'm not going to pay that. I'm not telling you not to pay it. I'm just saying we got to start saying no and fighting back. But we have to have a reason to say no, but we can tell the people the reason as well, can't we? So that was the theory behind my name. So Nikki, although I love it, Dr. K-N-O-W, is not a know-how show. I'm not trying to tell you anything because you must always check what I say. It's not always going to be right. And it's not always going to be wrong. So Dr. No, I'm going to call it Dr. No, right? So there we go. Dr. No, N-O. Sorry, Nick. Right, so that's the sign thing. That's the look. I got this cardboard. Look. I can't even afford paper at the moment because I haven't got enough subscribers. So please like, subscribe, and share, and then I can buy proper paper or even one of these little chalkboards that I can put up there. I can't do a teleprompter thing because the teleprompter thing, my God, that'll just like reading off the teleprompter. It's easy for some people, but for me, I just rather speak, and then I don't even really edit. Then I can just talk any old shit, can't I? And go anywhere I want to go to. If you don't want to listen, then you can bugger off. But some people like the formats. Some people probably don't. They might do a few little edits, but I'm trying to do this show all on my own. Right, today we're talking about shopping. I was shocked, actually. Went to Lidl today with the other half. No, I didn't say the better half. I said the other half, right? She don't watch this channel, so I can say what I fucking want about her, yeah? She don't watch. She just got OCD. She'd just be criticising me all the time. Oh, she did. She did look at it the other day. She said, well, that's wrong and you need to do that and whatever that. So in the end, I just thought, I'm just going to shut up about being excited about the show around her. I'll be excited around everyone else, but not about her because she'll just pick fault in it. You know, she can't help having OCD. That's a proper thing, isn't it? So, yeah. So she won't watch it, so fuck her, really. No, I don't mean it like that. She probably will watch this one and say, oh, you shouldn't have said that about me. No, I don't mean it, darling. If you are watching, I don't mean it. You know, it's just a satire, isn't it? So, yeah, I've got this, and I'm going to talk about shopping prices. I went shopping with her. I was just shocked at the prices. I don't go shopping that often, but it's so expensive for food. Now, why is it so expensive? Because the farmers don't get a lot from the supermarket. They seem to get shafted left, right and centre. You know, they pay sky-high costs for all their, farming equipment and their, fertiliser and stuff. And then they're sort of blackmailed by the supermarket because who else are they going to sell it to? If they're doing big volume, who are they going to sell it to? There's only the supermarkets that can cope to buy it all. So they're pretty well, they're stuck. Who's going to buy it? So I think the supermarkets have got a big hold over them. So I do feel sorry for the farmers. I do. They work really hard, the farmers, and I think we need more farmers, not less. I really do. I feel for you farmers, honestly. So the prices are sky high. It's the only people who benefits the supermarket, obviously. Now the supermarkets are being more owned by foreign companies. I see a lot more foreign companies are like the main shareholders of these supermarkets. And the government get taxes out of it. So there's the government and taxes, and the working class people, and the people really struggling, like the lower income working class, they're struggling. They're really struggling to put food on the table. A lot of them have got to go to food banks. Now, we never had food banks years ago. I can't remember having a food bank when I was like in the 1960s, 1970s, when I was younger, when I lived with mum and dad, obviously our family. And my mum might have had to borrow a cup of sugar off a neighbour or some milk. That's because they ran out. They'd always give it back. Or she'd go up to me nan's or to her friends and borrow some potatoes, and then until they get paid. But it used to be a society where you helped each other out. It's not like that now. Most of us don't even know our neighbours. And if your neighbours spoke to you, you'd be thinking, oh my God, you'd be all suspicious. What are they speaking to me for? The old days, we lived in a cul-de-sac, yeah? It's a closed off road, and everybody knew everybody. We grew up with all the kids. We knew all the kids. We went to school with all the kids. One of the people that I grew up with and lived just across the road from me was my best friend to this day. Bless him. All right, Dave, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, so big shout out to Dave. So that's how we used to roll in the old days. We used to borrow the stuff off people, but we never had a food bank. And like, we're meant to be a society now that technology's advanced and things have got better. You've got machinery that produces agricultural stuff like farming. It makes it a lot easier. It's not so reliant on labour, but everything's gone up. I would have thought, I know everything goes up, but it's gone up so much in regards to everything else, in regards to wages, that people cannot afford to. They have to rely on food banks. It's a sad state. We're meant to be one of the richest countries in the world, and a lot of people rely on food banks. What does it say about government? It's not just a Labour government. I hate the Labour government. I absolutely hate the Labour government, and I hate the Tory government before. I really hated Rishi Sunak. Another one who had his hand in the pie, giving out contracts to his family and his friends. Another one blatantly doing that. I think all these people should be investigated, and if they made money from being a politician, like I said yesterday, should be put into prison and have all that money taken back and given back to our government. Government only represents us. They represent us. That's our money. That's our money those people were stolen off us. That's why a lot of them are in power, to steal the money off us. Like I said yesterday, watch yesterday's video, and there's a few good points. I think I made a few good points there, that if you want to become a politician, you must be willing to have all your money and everything you do investigated and under scrutiny all the time. I think that's fair. Even if you don't want that to happen, don't become a politician then. You're still getting a good salary, you still get perks, but that's what you got to do, come under scrutiny to be an MP. You're going to know it. So if you don't want that to happen, don't become an MP. Don't go into local elections and then move on to number 10 in Parliament and Houses of Commons. Don't do it if you don't want to be under scrutiny. But it's just too easy because they haven't done that. Because they know if they implement my little policy, which I'm advocating for, that most of them wouldn't be there now. Most of them will be in the prison. Angela Rayner, look at that Lammy. Go back. You can just go back. Look how corrupt they are. And then they get caught out. I forgot I had to pay that. Isn't it? Rachel Reeves, all sorts. Most of them, if you really dug deep into them, they'd have something to answer for. So I think we need to do that. So yeah, that was that. Going into the supermarket, queuing up in the supermarket. I went to Lidl. There's other supermarkets available. Queuing up, man. What's all this queuing up? What's the point of having 8 lanes with tills and having 2 open? There was like 20 older people queuing up because they'd rather queue up for an hour than go through the self-checkout. That self-checkout is a bloody nightmare. I believe it's there for nefarious reasons, for face mapping. Do you know what I mean? It's all for a facial recognition stuff. I know I went to Farm Foods the other day. They've got a notice on the door. They're using facial recognition. What the hell? So I haven't been back to Farm Foods since. There's no way. They're telling you about it. It's not a very big sign, but that's happening everywhere. And I think most of the time they're not telling you, but you're using it for a lot of it. If you want to use my face, tell me, warn me. Do you know what I mean? But they're not. They're not. But you guarantee that that is being used. That is being used somewhere, your face. So I don't use those self-checkout. I'd rather queue up an hour. The older people rather queue up an hour because they know they're still going to get than if they go on uh, through. No, they're going to get through quicker because that machine. What's happening to that machine? That machine is constantly stopping. Bleep. You weigh something, it weighs wrong, or it thinks you've shoplifted something, so it bleeps to the person to come over. That person comes over, and then they put their little card through, and it starts again. And you think you're doing well, packing, whatever. Then it goes off again. But the girl's too busy doing someone else. You're waiting another 5 minutes. Before you know it, you're there an hour. Do you know what I mean? Those things are terrible. Absolutely terrible. So a lot of older people got bad eyesight, and they don't, you get a bit confused when you get a bit older, don't know what button to push, and it's crazy. Why have you got 8 checkouts? Put 8 people on. Today it was mad. It was absolutely madness. Lidl. It's not just Lidl, as there's the same. There was a sign in Morrison's the other day. It says, if you're queuing up, please let our staff know, because apparently you shouldn't be queuing up. But that sign's been there for ages, and nothing happens. If you tell someone to get all aggressive, what do you want me to do about it? Do you know what I mean? People, you're telling me to tell you that I'm queuing up, and I shouldn't be queuing up, and they'll open up another line or another aisle, but they never do. And then if you ask them and approach them, they get all like Morrison's. A woman got really angry. I said about it. I questioned about it. I said, why have you got this sign here saying you open up another queue we shouldn't be queuing? And you're getting all angry about it and all defensive. And she didn't know what to say to me in the end, just walked off, all moody. Do you know what I mean? But that's why, don't put it there. And if you don't want me to question it, it's crazy. Supermarket's crazy. So my supermarket little rant today. Prices, about the farmers being absolutely screwed over left, right and centre. And that goes nicely. Oh, by the way, got that. That was quite good. Little £20, like that plant. My wife actually did say, oh, is that real? See it? I think the camera's tracking it now. Is that real? I said, no, it's not real. It's plastic. She said, how much is that? I said, £20. She said, oh my God, you're spending another £20 on your studio. I thought, not like the fuck I'm going out disco dancing, is it? Partying every night on drugs, cocaine, living the high life, yachting out with Epstein and his friends. I just bought a fucking pot plant, for fuck's sake. Get over it. I'm not smoking. I'm not drinking. I'm living a half clean life. Well, a pretty clean life, yeah. Even shower, and you're moaning about a fucking pot plant. Get over the pot plant. So if you're watching, get over the pot plant, because that is a potential investment. I might get 29 subscribers one day. Then who'll be laughing then? Yeah, me. That takes us nicely on to look at the greenery, to the Green Party. The Green Party yesterday won a by-election, and I've got to scroll down because I'm not sure of the place. It's called the Gorton and Denton Greater Manchester by-election. I think that's a pretty working class place. The Greens, they're sort of like a fringe. Years ago, they'd be like a fringe party, wouldn't they? You'd call them quite fringe, very left. And that guy, people used to laugh at that guy. He looks a bit strange, but I look a bit strange. Everybody looks a bit strange and does strange things. So I'm not knocking you, Zack, for looking a bit strange. His name's Zack Polenski, right? Yeah, he looks weird. I look weird, but he was known, and people used to laugh at him because he said you could hypnotise yourself, or you could do something with your brain to make your titties bigger. Yeah. Actually, Zack, I want to do the different thing. I want to go the other way round, mate, and make them smaller. And I have been trying for a few days to make them smaller, and yeah, they seem to have gone down a little bit. Yeah, maybe that's because I've stopped eating bread. I don't know, but yeah, that's what he used to think, that if ladies wanted a bigger breast, that they could just think them big. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? If you could think them big, you'd put a lot of plastic surgeons out of bloody business, wouldn't you? So, yeah, Zack Polenski had a few strange things, but we've all said strange shit. Most people say strange shit. They go out to the pub, get fucking absolutely wasted out of the head. Now when he's, you're talking shit, your friend's talking shit. In the morning you wake up and think, oh my God, why did I say that? Oh my God. But your friend's probably saying that as well. Oh my God, why did I say that? Did I really say that? You become a little bit more truthful and a bit braver, don't you? When you've had a drink. And the next day you think, oh my God, did I tell my boss to fuck off last night? And she's got a big tubby fat ass and she looks like a baboon. Did I really say that? And you're hoping she's forgot all about that. She probably hasn't, especially if she was sober. But then you're wondering, and it gets worse and worse and worse, and that bloody starts My God, I've had many a day like that when I woke up like that. What the hell did I say? But half the time they're pissed anyway and they can't remember, so just don't worry about it. Yeah, so what am I saying? Where am I going with that? Zack Polenski, yeah, so yeah, we all say some strange shit, don't we? Every one of us, whether we're sober or pissed, and say things we regret. Everybody. I don't think there's one person on the planet has never said something. Yeah, maybe some holy people. Maybe they've said they've been pretty holy and not said stuff like that. But most of us are saying weird and stupid shit at certain times in our life. And hopefully as you get older, you get a little bit wiser and a bit more sensible. I don't know. I don't think that's hit me yet, getting wiser and sensible. Still talking shit now, but not too much shit. I do get some stuff off the internet, off the verified news, not fucking BBC, by the way. So Zack Polenski, yeah. So I'm on about him, Zack Polenski. What he has said, he has defended his party's plan to legalise and regulate drugs by saying the war on drugs has failed and criticising opponents for what he called cheap political attacks. He also described Labour's criticism of the policy as vile and claimed the UK has the worst drug death rate in Europe. I probably agree with that. Critics have seized on the wording, especially about playgrounds, as striking as usual. Yeah, saying about drugs are being sold in playgrounds. It's true, though, isn't it? Absolutely true. Absolutely, I can't knock him for that. And what he wants to do is legalise it all. I think that's what they're planning on. Legalising drugs. I think it'd be a wonderful thing to legalise drugs, but it must be done properly. People have been on about that for a long time. Ex-police officers and politicians have been on about legalising it. It's got to be done properly. You've got to be ready. If you're going to legalise drugs, be ready to legalise drugs and be ready with centres to help people. You want to get them off the street. You need to get them into the places where you're going to give them the drugs. You need a doctor there. You need all different specialised help people to try to talk them down from drugs and eventually get them. I think it's a wonderful thing. I think it's great. They have got these centres in Europe, I think. Maybe they got some in the UK where people can go and get safe drugs. They know they've not been cut with anything, maybe for free. They get their little hit. Same as the methadone thing, I think. But I think with the drugs, you do give them like the heroin or whatever. Methadone's a substitute. But at least you can get hold of them. At least they're a captured audience, aren't they? You could then try to persuade them to go on to other stuff, to go on to the methadone if they're on the heroin, and then to cut it down, and then to help. And maybe you got a few showers there, we can have a shower and some clean clothes if they've come off the street. We've all got people that we know in our families or friends that we know have been on drugs or still on drugs or dealing with drugs. And they're not bad people, They're just people that have been through shit in their lives, have got ongoing problems that have not been diagnosed. They don't make them bad people. Yeah, you got some bad people on drugs, but you got bad people that do everything. Then these people need to be taken seriously and helped. A lot of people are never going to recover. I've known a few people on alcohol, they never recovered, even though they knew they were going to die of drinking. They just carried on drinking, but they knew they were going to die. That's their choice. They wanted to do it. They didn't want to take any help. You're not going to save everybody. We're not going to save everybody. But I think with Zack's policy, I think we could save a lot of people. We could get them to be productive members of society. Don't forget, there are productive members of society that do take drugs. A lot of people in high-powered and high-pressure jobs take drugs to get through the day. Doctors, surgeons, solicitors, judges, barristers, people in the stock exchange, people like well known that these people are addicted to drugs, but they still manage. I know a lot of people that smoke cannabis, been smoking cannabis maybe 30, 40 years. They're not going around killing people with hatchets and stabbing people off trains. No, they're very productive members of society. Most of them are working, and they might be taking it because they got medical problems, bad back or whatever, and that's the only thing that can relieve the pain. They're not puffing all day long, 24/7. They go home, have a little spliff or a little, or what they call it, the eatable things. So they go and eat their edibles and have a little cookie and that, and they feel a bit monged out, and the pain will go away for a little while. But that's better than taking a lot of these pharmaceutical drugs. We know pharmaceutical companies, that's a big, look, how many lives pharmaceutical companies have destroyed. That's going to be another topic for another day. But yeah, I think it's a lot better than that. And it's good that the government are now prescribing medicals, certificates that say you're allowed to do marijuana. Marijuana's not really damaged many people. You're going to get the odd person like schizophrenia. Sometimes that doesn't show up until you're in your 30s, and something can trigger that. Maybe like a bit of skunk or or you take a drug, but that's going to be triggered eventually anyway by maybe getting pissed, alcohol, that could be triggered anyway. So you can't just say, a lot of people say, oh, that it's going to make you this and make you that. No, I think that's in you, and if it gets triggered, it gets triggered. And I know people that wasn't on that was schizophrenic and got triggered by drinking. So yeah, there we go with the drugs thing. I think that's quite a good thing, but you've got to be ready when you bring that out. If you roll that out, you need to get the money so we can stop. There's a lot of money being wasted in the UK, so we can take money from what's being wasted and then put it into that new policy, the rehab centres, the doctors, the people, the nurses, the free drugs or whatever. I don't think personally the government like it. Do you know why? Because they got to put out money. And I believe they're involved in drugs. I think you might say that's controversial and that's a load of bollocks, you don't know what you're on about. But I think they're well and truly involved in drugs, like importing drugs. I think they got their own dealers that deal out drugs to the next lot of people. And they use that money in the black economy. They use it for projects that they don't want people to see funding. Black projects, yeah? It's got to be happening. And that happens in other countries. They got a black budget. So how do they make the money from black budget? Because they're tied in with all the illegal activity. They're making money from it. Yeah, you might think that'll never happen. But look at the governments. Do you really trust the government? Do you trust the government now? Do you trust this government? Did you trust the last government? No, you can't trust them. They're meant to work for us. Do they work for us? No, they're just filling their own agenda. You know they get in there because they get a lot of funding in their party by who? By probably the people they're going to work for next, or the people they're going to help out. It's a no-brainer, isn't it? I'm hoping reform are going to be something different. But like I said yesterday, I think they're all bought and paid for. So Zack was on about that. So Zack Polenski goes on to say about accusing Labour of cracking down on rights, calling government actions handmaiden politics, and warning that alarm bells of being authoritarian are ringing loud and clear. This sort of dramatic rhetoric stands out in UK politics. So yeah, he's warning us about the government. He's warning us about the government, about how authoritarian they're getting. And we know how authoritarian they're getting. There's like black and white between how the Conservatives were and how when the Labour come in, what happened with Kier Starmer. So yeah, that's a good warning. I agree with that as well, Zack. Well done. Well, some good stuff coming out here. Also, he's on about the Greens under Polenski and other figures have taken very strong positions on Israel-Gaza conflict. This is including calling for recognition of alleged war crimes and at times supporting continuous framing of Zionism as racism. These have drawn intense criticism from other parties. Right, that I don't really get into that sort of thing. All I am is against people killing people. Yeah, so one person's martyr is another person's terrorist. That's what I say. That's what I think. Anyway, war is horrible. War is, there's no getting around it. Innocent people die all the time in wars. You know, that is just like what happens in war. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible thing. And I'm just for like, I'd like to live in an ideal world where there's no war, where we could get around the table and just chat the shit out, you know. But it's not going to happen. Why are wars constantly going, you know? That's what we need to answer. Why is there conflict all around the world all the time? And that's what we need. We know what the answers are, whether it be religion, territorial. We know what the answers are, but by now we should have been able to solve a lot of these problems. But why are they allowed to keep festering and keep going? Because I honestly do think they're kept going on purpose. Look at George Orwell. He had it right, didn't he? A lot of the time, read the book 1984, also read Animal Farm. But 1984, wars were kept going continuously forever. There was three continents that kept having a war. Maybe that continent would be fighting this continent. Then they would become friends and they'd have a armistice, and then they'd have peace, and then they'd be friends. Then they'd be attacking the other country. Or one of those countries would be attacking that country, and that would be his friend. So they'd all swap. They'd all take turns on having war with each other. And it was perpetual. It never ended. And that was the reason behind that. I think he was trying to say the reason behind that is because it kept people in fear, and it kept them. Big Brother was the one keeping them all consolidated. Big Brother was the one who was going to solve all the problems. That was the mother. Big Brother was the mother, really, not the brother, but it was the mother. Mother's going to look after us. She's going to look after us. So as long as we just like look after mother and do what she says, it was Big Brother, obviously, but then we'll be okay. They know the right thing to do. In fact, it wasn't. It was just totalitarian, wasn't it? Dystopian. We know it. We know. We don't want the world to end like that, do we? We don't want our country to end up like that. But it's a clever book because I think it could end up like that, really. So yeah, to me that should just all be sorted by now. Just we live in a sad fucking world, really. If that's the truth, that it's all done on purpose for power, politics, money, or religion, or whatever reason it's done for. I think it's sad and just shows we're just still animalistic and we're still just like that primal man, you know. We've just never adapted. If aliens come down now and they were civilized, they probably have. They probably live here somewhere, and they lived in a very forward-thinking community and world. They would just think we're so primitive. We're just like dog shit, really, on their shoes. That's how we look at us. We're just so animalistic all the time. 99% of people are good, but we're just ruled by these horrible psychopaths and sociopaths. His policy position, what was that? He's said about abolishing private landlords, and there was controversy the other day, but he said about abolishing private landlords, and I think one of his MPs or somebody who works for his party had some houses that she's renting out, so don't think that's going to go down well. But if you investigate any party, they're all going to say one thing. Somebody in that party is going to be doing it. Don't matter which one you investigate, they're all the same to me. So there we go. So that's it on the Green Party. So what else was I going to say today? I think that brings an end to it today. So thank you for watching. I'm going to have to edit some of this out because some of it was pretty shit, but some of it was very good. So I'm going to say thank you for watching. Oh, I told you about the Dr. No name. We've done that while we've changed the name. See, I've got a few more bits up here now. The plant. I hope you like the plant. £20 Lidl. So Lidl, if you want to give me another one for £20 for advertising it, I'll take it. Catch up with you next time. Oh, by the way, next week, Tuesday, we've got someone coming in for my first live interview, yeah? This is a guy that worked for a charitable organisation. He knows a lot of the stuff that goes inside and how corrupt charities are. Don't miss it. This is going to be really good, really exciting. I've been thinking about charities for a long time, but I don't donate to charities now. Don't donate to charities because I think if we live in a society where we need charities, and yet again society's shit, and we shouldn't have to have charities. Everything should be well and truly funded, especially the amount of tax we pay. Anyway, see you on the next one. Love you all. Like, share, subscribe. Gotta say that.